Wunderbar, wunderbar.
I want
Now.
you to know that that was the first thing that was unmuted. Congratulations.
It's always got to be weird. Anyways, let us start off as we always start off with roll call. Tokas.
Hello.
Totzig.
Hi, I'm here. Little.
Salik.
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Boblin.
I'm babbling.
Okay. Although he will be missed tonight, Fizzink will not be with us because real life things. So he is off getting the repercussions for his chaos magic.
We'll get him killed. Don't worry. He offered to do the same thing for Boblin, so we will avenge him. Right, Boblin?
I don't like the sound of that.
The man made me into a fucking horse.
Well, always look on the bright side.
Anyway,
I used to eat trash, now
yes, all that had to require was murder, apparently.
justified.
And when I believe you all had. Fuck. Sorry about that. You had all woken up from your short time on the plateau of Mbala, having decided to circumvent the old lady that lives there and her request to deal with her noisy neighbors. And decided to make your way down the plateau and towards Orlunga, which is where you have been told you will find someone that will help you on your way. A crazy old person who yelled in your face and then passed out. You all jumped up. And you all made your way to a fairly Hello?
No, Joe.
Okay, is that better?
Hello. Okay. Well, I went from 500 ping to 50 ping, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Looks like
that helps.
U.S. West is having a bit of a shit show right now. So to the one viewer, I do apologize. Because between my OBS was also having a heart attack because Steam thought now was a good time to update a game. So I thought it was that and it was just me until Salik said something. I'm like, I should probably check the server status.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I completely rebut it out too.
Yeah, no, it was between 500 to 700 ping on US West.
Oof.
So I can only imagine what Toll was going through. Anyhow, since none of us were talking, you didn't notice. What's new? So, GM, the floor is yours.
Where did you last? What did you last hear?
Nothing.
Fucking
I heard Luke
But
God
went around the old lady.
damn it! All right, we're good. Um. Oh right. Uh. When last we all met up, you all had finished your time on the plateau of Umbala, deciding not to take up the job by one homely old woman of Nanny Poo Poo, and decided to get the hell out of there as soon as you could.
say we
You,
won't take the job. The job's just there.
it's there, though you did not even half of the party didn't even introduce themselves to the kindly old woman.
Sir, it took an entire day of climbing.
Yes, you could have seen them in the seen the one person who lives in the village on top of the plateau.
Yeah, it
Is
sounds
it
like
really
work.
a village at that point?
Yeah, physically, yes. Population, no.
You had all jumped off the plateau using Featherfall to break your fall. Your runaway from the Burning Fist promptly screamed screamed like a lady and wet himself on the way down, never having experienced Featherfall before. And from there, you all had made your way through the jungles towards Orlunga. Uh, Before you, as you're winding down for the day, you'd all spotted the Terra Folk cave that was on the side of the mountain, and decided, huh, I don't want to deal with those. Let's find a place with a lot of vines and things to keep them away from us, so it has a hard time with flying. You found such a place, though it was also infested by uh, a plant and their murder plant zombies, in which you murdered the murder plants.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we will pick up there as you are clearing out the plants and getting ready for bed.
I would say pre or post long rest.
Pre long rest.
Okay. Boblin, there were some shinies somewhere that you were looking for. If you're going to continue going after them, I just ask you be careful. Um, my little turret is out for another like 9.5 minutes. So if you get hurt, immediately run back and give it a hug. Fear, pains.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know my voice was that bad. Rude.
Mm.
But
Sure. That was quite a skirmish. Is everyone all right?
I mean,
Ah,
I'm not sure what you plan to do about it, sleep wizard.
by the way, how bad are you hurting there, Toxic?
I mean,
Because I got a spell left.
yeah, I remember that we actually have 3 spell slots now, not 2.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I have to check on Beyond. Because I would think I was tracking my HP there, not on the sheet. Did I do it on my token? Okay, token wise, I'm at 16.
I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a cure wounds.
Um,
I tried.
What was it?
4.
That's
It's better
that's
than it was before.
that's almost topped off.
There.
I mean, we're D8s, dude. What do you want?
Yeah. Yeah.
D8s in con is technically one of my dump stats. Technically.
That's terrifying. I would never use Constitution as a dump stat. You need
Uh,
that way too much.
we rolled for stats, remember?
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So it's one of my 14s.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's my 14.
So, uh, while Boblin is playing around with the shinies, whenever he gets back, set up some kind of perimeter. I still feel this is a sound place. Having between myself and Fizz Inc., painfully as it is to say, um, burn off any bodies that remain.
Oh, I will help with that too with firebolts.
Yeah.
Boblin would go look for shinies.
All right. Boblin, give me a perception check or an investigation check. Which one you ever would like better?
Perception.
Now there was that one specific shiny he saw for sure, right?
I don't know if I know I
Because
saw
there was
shiny
some kind of
something.
shrine or something that you had seen.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if that was just a trick of the feeler though.
There was a like a shrine that all these vines were kind of encasing. That is kind of where you all had ended up during the fight. With a 9, though you do have the time, you all are around here. With a 9, you find the corpses of 2 adventurers, well, explorers in the jungle, that seem to be encased in these vines and kind of have the vines protruding from them as well, as though the vines were growing from them.
Add him to the burn pile, Boblin.
Boblin is gonna take a dagger and stab him in the brain. Just not gratuitously,
All right,
respectively brain stab.
all
Uh,
right, all right.
just to ensure.
Respectful brain
Brain
stab.
stabbings.
I know what I said, but
I that was not judgment. That was approval.
yeah, can't be too careful with zombies rising up everywhere.
Uh, you know what, Boblin? Give me a flat d20 and then another perception check as you are moving these bodies.
I'm just really rolling well tonight.
Oh, oh boy. All right. Well, uh, you as you are cutting these bodies loose and making sure they stay down,
Yes, that's
you
exactly
you
what I was
end up hearing as one of them falls to the ground a crack of glass and a leaking of some kind of fluid.
Yeah, why this? Boblin goes to look at it.
It looked at some point. It looked uh, in the one adventurer's sack. He looked like he had a couple of potions. That didn't look like they don't look like healing potions. They look kind of gray and cloudy.
Soup.
Though you do find uh, an obsidian dagger.
Ah. Boblin is definitely gonna
Yes.
pick up the obsidian dagger and inspect it a little more.
All right. The rules on the obsidian dagger are much like a dagger. It does I believe a dagger does d4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
But the obsidian dagger uh is a non-magical weapon that crits on a 19 or 20. But if you roll uh, a 1 or a 2, it shatters and does double the dice damage to yourself as it explodes in your hand from shattering glass. Kind of like if you ever seen a Prince Rupert drop explode.
Prince Rupert drop?
Uh, it's a glass thing. Uh, Basically, if you, it's nigh indestructible on the heavy end, but on if you like pinch it on a certain spot, it'll just evaporate
It looks like a
into
glass
tiny
spring.
little glass bits. This is just much more explosive.
Huh. Okay. Duly noted.
Yep. Yeah. You do find that along in the body.
There was what in the bodies?
There was the broken potions that you found, and then the only other thing you found was the obsidian dagger.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. Just making sure.
All right. Baboon would drag the bodies over to the burn pyre and then go over to the rest of the pyre and say, I found this! And hold up the obsidian dagger. Yeah,
Ah,
was.
found one of the found a dagger. Quite a good one too. Haven't seen one of them in years.
It's all
Is it
black and
magical?
shiny.
No. There's a bit of an active volcano around here. Uh, it produces a lot of volcanic glass. So uh, the people who have ventured out there make weapons out of the obsidian that gets produced there.
No.
It's over on. I've never been there myself, but I believe it's called the Valley of Lost Honor.
Sounds like a wonderful place for a knight to never visit.
Uh, I mean, it was a place of a massive war on Chelt, but that's a history lesson for later. For
Did the
now, we have
humans fight
burning.
the dinosaurs?
No. It's a bit of a long story, but I'll tell it over the fire.
Well, you're in luck. I just looked through the giant pyre.
Oh, right. Didn't expect you to get that done all that fast.
Okay.
DM looking for the exact story.
It's no worries. We got throw the other two on. It's there are undead where we come from, so this is standard practice.
Yes. All right. All right. Let us sit down, and I can explain to you the tragedy of the Barre. Uh,
I will make note that I will walk away, work on my tinkering. The turret will go to Jadoop and go away.
Tragedy of what now?
the tragedy of the Barre. The chosen of Upteo. Upteo, the god of mazes and passages, was an old god, older than most gods that are around currently. He was there during the Dawn War, the war that started all of existence in mortal life. He alone fought against the great serpent. Name I am. Give me. Why my
Hissy
brain?
fangs.
Why?
Pretty sure
No,
it's not Jormungandr. That's taken.
no. The
Dundar?
Dendar. Thank you.
Hey, Dundar, my
Dendar
boy.
the Night Serpent,
Shout
which
out.
is Jormungandr in spirit mostly. Cough, 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 cough. Dendar is was one of the old Titan, the primordial forces that created the world. and Opteo fought and sealed him away under Chult, and has been his warden ever since. And that is why the land of Chult sees old creatures such as the dinosaurs and the Aldani and some of the far-reaching creatures that that lands far from here have not seen in generations. Opteo looks and sees what the land was and wants to keep it that way. Well, for the most part. The Barre were Opteo's chosen from the mortal world, uh, chosen figures uh, to live in service of protecting Chult and its people.
Was they humans?
Most of them, yes,
Hmm.
uh, but there were 7 Barre, but one amongst them, Raznisi, decided that he uh, decided that some of the tribes of the land were going to destroy Chelt and all he stood for. So he raised a massive curse and brought the undead to Chelt by bringing back everything that had ever died on Chelt into his army, uh, and decided to wipe out the entire tribe of his enemies. This angered Upteo and all the other Barre, and there was a massive war uh, amongst the people of Cheld. From there, it took generations upon generations to beat back and finally defeat Raznisi. Uh, though being immortal through his gifts granted by Opteo, he could not be killed at the time, though he was exiled and left to die a mortal life once again after the war. Uh, the Valley of Lost Honor is where Raznisi decided to first use this curse, the curse of undead, to bring back the army of undead that he had, and decided to look away and scorn the teachings of Opteo. And that is why it is called the Valley of Lost Honor.
Wow. Boblin has his eyes wide. He like as he finishes up, he uh, as the story finishes, he pulls out the dagger and sort of looks at it, eyes wide.
Old crafts are often forgotten. Keep hold. It may come in handy. Keep hold of that. It may come in handy in the future. You never know how history will see to help you.
Yeah, that would be sound advice. As I wrap up the final notes I was taking.
Mm. Oh, oh, God. Right. Burning zombie never smells well. Ugh. Anyways, if you will, I'm gonna get to cooking some more meat for the night. You, Brian, D- zombie bait, however your name is, help me out here. As he and Brian, he kind of just forces Brian to help him do some do some cooking.
Boblin is going to go over and ask Brian, "What? What food did your parents name you after?"
Uh, my parents didn't name me after food. Did 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 yours?
Yeah, I'm a goblin. My, my mom named me after her favorite stew.
Bob?
Yeah, no, is well, my name is Brackenrock Bob, but that's difficult for homies to say, so I Boblin.
Brick and Nut Bob.
Brackenrock
Brick
Bob.
and Rock Bob. Huh. I did not know that. I honestly don't know a lot about goblin culture back at all. Mostly they tend to just be extremely territorial and throw
Yeah.
rocks at people.
Well, if you're nice, sometimes we throw our garbage at you.
That
How wonderful.
I mean that's better, I guess.
Not if it's like a skeleton or a baby. When I was little, my siblings would throw me at people.
That
That explains a lot.
that does explain a lot.
Boblin looks around, slightly hurt.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go help Master Musharib now. Uh, excuse me. As he goes over and helps throw some more stuff on the fire to keep it up and going.
And there
Boblin,
we have it. Looking up from my spellbook. Yeah, alarm is set.
Mm,
Boblin's just gonna wonder aloud. I wonder what a Brian would taste like.
I just
Um,
turn my head and stare at Boblin.
Boblin looks back at Togas. What?
just kind of gesture at our Brian.
No,
who
not.
just didn't apparently didn't hear that at all.
Oh, he's busy.
He's very busy.
Boblin just blinks. What?
Fine. Everything's fine. Now, I will note, GM, when we wrapped up, I had taken the first watch with a 20 perception.
Oh yes, I see that now.
So I'll be taking first watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take second.
Boblin will take third.
And I will take none, as is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're claustrophobic.
You will blink, 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 blink.
I don't think that's the word you mean to use.
You will
Quiet voice in my head.
watch over us in the realm of dreams, Sleek. There, I entrust you dearly,
Mm-hmm.
as you have a breadth of experience none of us could ever hope to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And should I find any particularly interesting dreams and/or visions, I'll be sure to pass them on.
You do that to Tokus. I'm not really a dreamer per se.
In my turn, sometimes the shaman would go and influence our dreams by whispering in our ears as we slept. You should do that to Tokus.
I think that's just creepy.
Like, you're a dwarf.
And yet, it is possible for external factors to influence our dreams. It's
See,
proven.
that smart birdie agrees with me, dwarf.
That he didn't say that it couldn't happen, just that was creepy.
But his right is not creepy.
That's not how that works.
Come on, Strawberry. We're gonna get some sleep before watch.
All right. Well, with your perception score, as everyone kind of meanders down, the you feel like this is a fairly good spot. As you have a bit of a clear shot at seeing the terrafolk and that area, so you could kind of keep track of if anything out of the cave sees you at least. But you are covered enough that you think they can't quite see you, and if they did, they would have a fairly hard time with all the vines and foliage around here. Though the interesting thing you do see, you do see Fizzink talking with that imp he summoned last time, and apparently coming to some kind of accord. As it just kind of sees you looking at it and kind of just cackles and flies off a little bit into the forest, out of sight.
During whose watch?
During your watch.
Okay. No issue. The hemp didn't cause us any troubles, and if it's an imp that is the downfall of our party, then
We got bigger issues.
yeah. I mean, considering we took down a T Rex, we lose to an imp. We kind of had that coming. I'll with one of my hooves nudge Tokus awake. For curling down, playing the little lullaby on my little tinkered item a few times before finally passing out.
Mm. Uh, all right, Tokus. Uh, as your night goes on, give me a
I
flat
did.
d20 roll.
Just flat d20.
Yeah, just a flat d20. Let me see something. All right, that. All right. So as you are watching, you do see, uh, you are kind of positioned to where you could see the Terrafolk cave, and you manage to at this distance see at least, you want to say 15 of them moving in and around. It could just be a bunch of them coming in and out, but you want to say there's at least 15 individuals in that cave. Though it is getting dark. Other than that, you hear something kind of large uh, outside your vision as it is growing darker and darker. Uh, but after some quiet listening and to hear if it's getting any closer, it seems to go off in a different direction and get quieter and softer. before it just kind of phases out of your range. So generally nothing happened. Nothing to wake up the party at least.
Okay. I go and wake up the Boblin.
I'm the Boblin. Why is that?
Watch time.
Alright. Sleepy Boblin gets ready for watch.
All right. Sleepy Goblin, give me perception check. Hot diggity darn.
Sleepy Boblin sees everything.
Yes, you wake up, stretch. You go to look at Strawberry's cage, and you decide, let the monkey have his rest for the night while you sit by the fire. As you are looking around, uh, give me another flat d20, please. All right, all right. Um, the you manage to see around. You see that this is kind of the exterior of this old temple uh, looks. You don't want to say familiar, but it does look like something that like look. You feel like you've seen this before somewhere, or at least the iconography. Uh, but as you are looking at it, you manage to see one of those little Chewinga friends that you met. Just kind of
Mm,
pop in, poking you at the knee.
Hey, Pixie, what is it?
He just kind of he gestures you to get closer,
Boblin leans down toward the pixie.
and much like as if he was kind of whispering something into your ear, he gets up really close and says something in a language you don't understand. But as he kind of backs away, he kind of Looney Tunes esque reaches behind himself and pulls out a flower about the size of him. It looks like an orange orchid,
Wow.
and just
I've
kind
been
of
gifted by the pixies.
he puts it behind your ear and walks into the fire and disappears.
Uh, Fire pixie. Boblin reaches up and touches the flower and gets an idea. He turns, looks toward the fire, and and attempts to shoot flames from his hands.
Give me an Arcana roll.
If only he had become Eldritch tonight.
You go ha, and ha, as as you kind of notice that Mushrib is awake and looking at you. It's like, what are you doing?
I got. Boblin whispers, "I got a flower from the pixies." He points.
Ah, a little gift. I really like you, at least. Uh,
I'm Boblin.
yeah, that is your name. Uh, well, they say the Chewingas are little forest spirits, pieces of the forest personified, of Chult, personified. So, who knows? May come in handy at someday. I'm gonna start waking everyone up. You should get on doing that.
All right. Babu goes over and starts pulling at Tatsig and Tokas.
Immediately lunge for my eyes. Oh, what is it? What is it?
Is it Boblin? Cowering little goblin.
I mean, you are basically 3 times his size
I Boblin.
in mass.
Just pat him on the head. That's all right. Miss anything?
I got a present from the forest pixies.
Lovely.
Is it goes well with my skin? Goblin says, posing a little bit.
Yes, I mean, it goes very well with your color.
Maybe Tokas? Tatsig, sorry. Tatsig is early. Tatsig, what if when I become a knight, this becomes my knightly sigil? The orange flowery thing. To represent my adventures in Chult.
It might be a good base, like the rear guard of the icon. But a sigil should have more than just a singular meaning.
Oh,
I mean, it's the representation of who you. At this point, I've like started like re-kick the fire just up enough to start heating up some breakfast for everyone to rub the sleep out of my eyes. Yeah, it's kind of what you intend your family line. Because at that point you become nobility, in most places.
nobility.
Yeah, which means you have to be respectful. Your family has to be respectful.
Goblin's ears visibly wilt at that.
Your your ilk, those who come from you. You can't
Oh.
fix. I mean, we can fix that problem real quick.
Boblin
You can't
face
fix
goes
that
from
problem.
dejected to like mortified, and he just whispers, "Please don't hurt my family."
No promises.
What about you, turret? Will you promise not to hurt my family?
There's no sign of the turret right now.
No.
There's just a little backpack.
Boblin thinks Boblin. They're one and the same to Boblin. He addresses the backpack.
It doesn't respond.
Oh no.
But
He doesn't promise to not turn his guns on my family.
shove food at him. And like,
I think about it.
Brian's not even fully awake. Give him the big old smack on the side of the face. Come on, get up. Breakfast's getting cold.
What? What? Oh God, I'm still here. Never mind. Nothing.
Food, eat, water, drink.
Yes. Yes.
Don't worry, Boblin. You'll come up with a crest eventually.
Thank you, Birdie.
As you all convene for breakfast.
I think we're still trying to pretty much due west. I mean, I know we went a little off the beaten path we were planning, but better than getting plucked into the. Well, I mean, better than y'all getting plucked into the sky. I'd be impressed if one of them can lift me.
I mean, who knows? Two of them.
Maybe lay
two
off
of
the
the three of them
rations.
might be able to.
I was like maybe 3.
Yeah, kind of big.
I suppose the question is if we deal with them now. I mean, we know where their cave is.
We just got beat up by plants, and you want to face pterodactyl people?
To be fair, it's not so much that we got beat up. I feel we acquitted ourselves quite well. Saying that's the guy who didn't get charmed by it.
I
But
don't know.
I also
We
don't
have
have
lots
enough
of smalls.
explosives to deal with a cave of these things.
Uh,
And they fly. I mean, I have ranged options, but they fly. You guys are very tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any traps? I have an inkling of an idea. Provided they're all inside the cave, of course.
Ah, I s-
yeah. No idea how those damn pests work, but I mean, seeing them fly in and out like we did, there's probably not going to be all of them, but at least some of them there.
I feel this is an ant hill we don't need to kick right now.
Hmm.
But
We're in a position where we can avoid them. If ever it gets to be they are still stalking us and we unfortunately have nothing but open air overhead, then they're a problem. Um,
Yeah. Um. All right. Let's get on the move. We got places to be after this. You ever been to Orlanga? This should be interesting.
we do
From
like
from
keep
what I hear,
we do like
from
to
what I
keep
remember, it used to
exciting.
be quite a big city.
Well, I'm looking forward to trials. Yay.
Mm.
But
we're going on trial.
uh trials of skill, might and wit I'm expecting, not trial of law.
Mm. Who knows?
I've never been to court. Goblins don't have court.
I mean, you know what? Never mind. I don't know. You don't need to know about Chelton politics.
But yeah, I think we head just due west here.
Mm-hmm.
Mushrib. Um, as per usual, I'll prop the little ones on the back since the turret is not up. And bobbling up on the shoulders, so I keep kind of increase our pace. Can't really do anything for. We just have so many little legs.
So many tiny people. Uh, I'm just picturing like this modular backpack that just kind of folds out into different turrets,
Pretty much. Um,
which sounds amazing.
it there's the saddle has like that flat bed on it, where the like ballista turret pops out of and can crawl off. The backpack is the defender that flops off. I'm not thematically worried about the flamethrower yet.
I'm just
Yet.
like under the arm, just you grab it.
Oh no, I want to be nowhere near that thing.
I don't know how it works. I'm just picturing like it just
It
unfolds into an actual flamethrower.
it's conal. It is so it includes friendly fire,
Oh.
Hmm.
and I'm a melee fighter. So
All right. Musharib survival at advantage. Because assuming assist.
yeah, like mainly my assist is mainly gonna be keeping my eyes up and making sure. Hey, we got an open pocket coming up. It looks like let's swing a little more to the left for a few about a mile or so. Trying to keep open air as
Mm,
little as possible.
yeah. All right. You guys get here. And then
Where's the
I
map?
would
We're
like.
not on that map. Just as a
Oh,
heads up, it's
oops.
fine, but
There you go.
if you go back and watch the replays of all this, it's literally just us sitting on this map for almost the majority of the entire playthrough so far.
I mean,
It's great.
it's
end up where now? Did we? I think we lost him
Yeah, I
because
feel
he
as
was
though he's talking.
mid sentence. Don't worry, he'll be back. Um,
Cue the elevator music.
nah,
I'm back.
from outer space.
All right, click the wrong press button. That might be helpful.
Yeah, it might be.
I would like my spell slots.
Why are you messing around with them?
Fine, I'll remember that when you need healing.
Please give me the heals.
All right. So you guys get to the next square where you're currently at with no problems. What pace are you going?
Fast pace if we can manage it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Food's not an issue, but I mean, there is a this death curse thing.
Yes.
Kind of a big deal. Don't know why they hired level ones, but hey, I just work here.
Who said you were
And we're
the one
getting
who picked
further
the
away
level
from
up?
yeah, a water source, so we have to rely on rainwater.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Oh right, you guys make
We make water.
alchemy jugs.
Alchemy jug.
Yeah. Artificers are busted.
Not at all, because for 200 gold and, we've traveled long enough, we could have made a wondrous item if we pulled resources.
I'm just
Mhm.
picturing like this MacGyvered bottle for your alchemy jug made out of like hide from the things that you've killed and bark
No,
from
it's off of one of the ring. It's made out of the ring catcher, which is
yeah.
really, really cool when we use it for mayonnaise.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh, eh. Oh,
High five, Tokus. High five.
High five.
fine. No, to anyone listening, I despise mayonnaise.
Well,
What?
you're wrong because it serves.
Yes.
It is a food product that serves a purpose.
Well, I can have it in little bits, but like any more than just a small amount, and I can't stand it.
Well, yeah, but I don't think most people are like, they're not eating mayonnaise out of the jar. I think that's how most people
You
eat
don't watch
mayonnaise.
Critical Role.
Yeah, I know, Grog. Yeah.
No, Grog, that was the one exception. I can listen to that and not start dry heaving.
Also, the Scorpion in the Saturday campaign that immediately collapsed.
Because of mayonnaise?
What the hell did you do to that scorpion?
His name was Mayonnaise because he ate mayonnaise. We didn't do anything to him. But anyhow,
Anyways, someone, Salik, give me a D4 roll. See if you move again.
D4 coming up. Oh.
Hmm. Awkwardly, this is as far as you get for the day. And now I would like one of you, not Salik, to roll me a flat d20.
I vote Tatsig.
I vote Tokus.
I want strawberry.
Well, Strawberry is connected to you, so
Strawberry
you
is
then.
not a member of this party.
He is the most loyal squire.
Fine, I'll roll the d20.
Already dead.
Oh.
All right. You know what? Yes, Totsig, could you give me a D100 roll?
Sure. 18.
Wow.
Don't worry, I just blew off somebody's arm. Through an armor-plated door. With
So
a
as
hunting
you are
rifle.
walking around, you manage to see you manage to get get into a little bit of a spot where you can see a clearing where there's an ankylosaurus feeding on some some foliage sitting around.
There's a big dinosaur.
Yeah, see that giant thwacker of a tail?
Let's
Yeah.
avoid that.
Yeah,
Don't want to get hit by that.
I would suggest sneaking around that for now.
I mean, we've seen one of these before. We saw one back in the city, so
Yeah.
we're not unfamiliar. Like that looks painful. My ribs are still a little bruised, so
Mm.
Yeah. Best to avoid any loud noises. Yes, keep it quiet. Sleep.
I immediately just smack him on the back of the head.
Ow! How long was I out?
12 years.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
No. Bobbin pulls his leg. Now I am.
Hey,
You know
don't,
what?
don't do that.
You know what? No, I'm gonna dive in with Bob. And I was like, no, it's been a decade and two. We've we ended up slipping into the Feywild after when you drifted away, and you weren't here to help us. Tokus and Fizzing traded bodies like 5 times.
So many dreams.
I think for this one, I'm gonna roll an insight check to make sure I didn't just fall asleep and this is some weird dream.
So, as it is now, like an entirety of the group lying to him.
Would that be at disadvantage or what?
Oh my god.
I guess Bobbin started it, so he gets to
Uh,
roll deception with advantage, cause we're all assisting him.
okay. You know what? Yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna laugh. That's a 3.
No, it's a 10.
That's 10. That's 10. Sleek, they're messing with you. You know this. You could absolutely see Toxic kind of trying to stifle a laugh.
Well,
Just
the
a little
laughter
bit.
is mainly because now Boblin believes it.
No, yeah. Boblin's just like, did that all happen?
The Feywild? I heard stories about that. Has it
Yeah,
really been
now, Boblin, there's no need to be afraid. Look, I have this little handbook you can practice reading on.
He doesn't.
reading?
We're working on that.
Don't read good.
We're working on that.
All right. Enough for now. I
I'm
as
not.
Mushreeb kind of gestures for you all to come sneak around the Ankylosaurus,
Oh, there's no
and
sneaking.
I would like you all to at least attempt a stealth roll at advantage because
I'm wearing heavy armor, a goblin, a gnome, and a dwarf. There is no sneaking.
Look, you get disadvantage then.
Yes.
If need be, I'll just outrun the son of a bitch.
Oh, whoops, I still got advantage. Never mind.
That was your
That's
first die. You're good.
No.
Oh,
and he
I
said
said
with advantage.
because Musharib is leading you around the long way.
I am. It really wanted me to roll a 10.
Yeah, look, I rolled 2 20s earlier because they're both 16.
And it wanted me to roll an 18.
That's okay.
Yeah.
My stealth skill vanished because I know we've rolled it before. Huh.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's not on my sheet anymore. I don't know. It's doing with the shape sheet. It's been doing this a lot. Kind of annoying. Trying to roll raw 1d20. It should be at least a minimum +2, +3, so a 9. Like I said, I have no doubts that I can outrun this thing. But again, I keep a respectful distance from it, making it clear, hey, I'm here, you're here, eat your food, or I throw a goblin at you.
Yeah, with Musharib and just kind of cautiously moving around the thing. Uh, it takes the better part of the afternoon to get around it. Though right at the end, Totzig does snap a twig. It looks at him in particular, and you just see like this stare down for a second before the Ankylosaurus just kind of doesn't care enough and moves on. It's like, oh well, that helped. Usually those things are fairly territorial.
I mean, just give zero care, and typically things reciprocate.
I mean, yeah, but Chult. Usually, giving zero cares means you don't see the thing trying to kill you on the other end.
Did he get a little robot-y for anyone else?
It happens.
Beep boop.
We're
A beep
good.
boop.
We're fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine. And he's not dead yet.
We're good. We're good. So I would like the three normal people to give me their perception checks for the night shift as you are setting up for the night.
I'll actually take second watch. During first watch, because it was brought up again. I now have the guilt trip of I technically started teaching him how to read. So we're gonna work on up to the letter G today.
Boblin will work with Tatsig to learn how to read.
And I will check if Brian knows how to read.
Of course, I know how to read.
You
I
never
had one of
know.
Look,
Boblin throws the paper at him.
Flaming
What does
Fist
it
is,
say?
not the best.
You what was that?
You go first.
No,
Boblin.
what? Go.
Yeah, I heard Boblin say something
Okay.
first.
Boblin is gonna take the sheet that Tatsig is using and thrust it at Brian and say, "What does it say?"
He just takes it and it's like, look, the Flaming Fist is, let's be honest, corrupt to the core at this point. But they still teach
Boblin is
teach their
rapidly
applicants how to read.
losing interest.
And yeah, like he looks like he can read. He can read this. He is smart enough to read common. Does it say anything in particular as he's handed the paper?
It's just your standard like quick thoughts jumping over the yada yada yada.
Oh, okay. Tongue twisters. Wonderful. Confuse the goblin. Why don't you? I'm slipping into Musharib. Wonderful. 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 I'm gonna end up with one singular accent by the end of this game. Oh well, my mind is going blank. Being taken over by a dwarf.
You may want to stay away from the dwarf for about 20 hours. Just saying.
Smells so bad.
That said,
I don't think he's taken a bath.
I will pull out one of my
Month.
advanced books, one of my personal selections. All right, Mr. Smarty Pants, you can work on this one.
You know what? Thank you. As he takes it and starts to read it, like
it is a mind-numbingly boring dissertation on engineering.
Something the artificers would love.
Absolutely adore.
and as he's reading, he just starts to slowly nod off.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a test in the morning. I do say that loud enough, like right as he's doing that one little down head motion, say it right in his ear.
What? Yeah, I'm still reading. Yes.
yeah, so for the first watch, I'll be working with Boblin.
All
I
right.
don't think anyone else is illiterate, and I guess I'm the only one in the party that has experience teaching a child how to read.
Hmm. I would certainly hope you're the only other Boblin's the only one who can't read, considering we have two other wizards.
You never know with physics.
Hey, man!
He's not hearing.
I can't even read my own spell book.
It's written in pictographs for a reason.
Ah.
But after a very thorough lesson for like the first couple of hours, Boblin, go get some rest. I'll take the next watch with a 12.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Busy like oiling the weapons and doing the normal stuff I do when we make camp, but instead spent teaching a goblin how to read the alphabet.
Mhm. So there was Tokus's perception. There was Totsig's perception. Boblin, can I get yours before I start describing
Yes, you may.
real quick? Cool. Dang.
You know, the numbers
Dang.
are allowed to
Plus-
go up.
Yes, they are. For some reason, the dice doesn't want that to happen, though. All right. The night is fairly calm. You do see some other something flying in the air around. Though you can't quite make out what exactly it is. It's probably another uh creature that lives within the jungles. It doesn't look like a terrafolk. It doesn't look like a another bird. It seems a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Um Elongated, I guess. Thin, spindly. There it is. It seems kind of spindly for any creature that you've seen before in the jungles. Though the night is young, and so far the only thing that has been of interest is trying to sketch out that creature from before. As you go into Totsig's, Totsig's shift, where you kind of point them out, and it seems like a fairly calm night for all three of you. In the end, uh, it's fairly bright out. It seems like the moon is shining above and gives a fairly good amount of light for the nighttime.
I'll say towards the end of my shift, I'll set a little cook pot with some water and do like some overnight oats as one of the rations for the morning.
Mm. You do see Brian just passed out.
Oh, there'll be a test in the morning. There wasn't going to be, but he drooled on my book.
I never said that.
If you had the thought of the book I do in mind, he drooled on that book. He is having the best sleep he's ever had.
uh,
Math with things that are technically not letters or numbers, just random symbols.
you monster. You absolute monster. There's probably like some
Welcome to magic.
there's alchemical formulae and like some weird diagram that's supposed to be a math problem that keeps circling around in on itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
And when you solve it, it just makes another one.
Ah! Why?
And altogether, it paints out a elaborate story.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that is just the design of a singular lever.
yeah. Somehow he gets triangle as the answer to one of these things, and he has no idea how.
I will consult with the other artificer.
Eh.
like that's our shift change is we're looking over his little notes, just like
Triangle?
slightly turn the page so the triangle is like flat on the top, and just nod.
There's a question mark right next to this. Like, why? What?
He's so glad I didn't
Yeah.
buy red ink.
Good God. You absolute monster. So much to the three of you's vigil, nothing seems to be going on as of the night, and the days go on into the morning.
He's up the bottom to wake us all up.
Yeah. Once the morning starts, Boblin sends Strawberry around to wake everyone up as Boblin makes a fire for breakfast.
Yes. Do me a favor and roll an animal handling to see how Strawberry wakes everyone up.
I'm gonna kill that monkey.
Lego my ego.
Blink, blink.
He's traversed the multiverse into the meme plane.
So that's a 4 animal handling.
Oh, okay.
We're getting pooped.
Yeah, you just see as you command Strawberry to wake everyone up, and you see the one thing you always see when monkeys decide, oh hey, I don't want to move, but I need to touch that. Projectiles right in the mass. It's kind of like a shotgun where he just like throws it into an arc just to try to hit everyone. Luckily, it's dry, or at least dry-ish.
Oh dear.
Boblin. I haven't even opened my eyes yet.
You just feel a thump and then smell something rancid.
Boblin.
I got a fire going.
Boblin.
What?
Gonna kill the monkey.
Don't hurt Strawberry. He's a good boy.
When I open my eyes,
This better be
better
crazy.
not, this better not be what I think it is.
That wasn't me, was it?
It was.
Oh, blast it. And I just cast precipitation all in my vicinity.
How about one over here, wizard?
Yeah.
Uh, oh God.
Once again, very scoldingly, make sure all the youngins get their breakfast eaten. And here I was going to give Strawberry some jerky today.
Strawberry like screeches and claps his hands for some jerky.
I give him that look like, You know why you're not getting jerky. You know
Strawberry.
why.
Strawberry blows raspberries at Toxic.
Now that's 2 days you don't get jerky.
Strawberry does a. Oh, Strawberry's mouth falls open.
I put a little finger under it and do the little close. Manners.
Manners, Strawberry. Imagine Strawberry shooting Bob in a nasty look.
Just see Strawberry. Yeah, just shoot another raspberry at Totzig, but just crawl back into his.
Sounds like poor training. Brian!
Yeah. Yes.
I have a little hand him a bowl of warmed up oats and a
Yeah.
test.
Why? What am I even supposed to write this in?
Common?
No, write this with. Sorry, bad word. Words.
I'll lend him a quill. I mean, no rush. You literally have all day. You're not doing anything else useful. Like, since you've joined us, you've had like 30 seconds of fame and have been dead weight since. So we're gonna work on that. I'm not a motivational speaker. Zero charisma, guys.
Well, the alternative was to leave him to perish in the jungle.
All right, and what should that be?
Intelligence?
Intelligence check? Okay, that sounds fair.
It's one of those tests that had nothing to do with the book, but is still stupidly easy. We gotta start small.
All right, yeah, he's just like he spends most of the day working on this thing. It's like, question: why triangle?
Tokus, the paper's in that pocket. Like trying to point to the saddlebags. Show him the right triangle.
I do so.
As we're now traveling.
Yes, as you are traveling for the day. So survival with advantage. Fair.
Man, I'll take a 19.
So you get so it's either that one or the one above it.
I think the one above it would keep us in the overhead, yeah? Yeah, we'll go that one, and then we'll attempt to make the one down below it, right adjacent with Orlunga.
All right, Boblin, give me a D4.
Alrighty.
Don't worry, Boblin. Your test will begin soon.
I mean, it's a 2 up, so you are moving. So which one do you want to go to?
Adjacent to Orlunga?
Okay.
This one.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, there's a river there. Because I can't see past these things at the moment. Yeah, so you give all right, Boblin, since you rolled that, give me a flat D20 roll.
I'm keeping eyes out for Crocs because.
All right. Give me a D100 roll. Wow, you guys are rolling super low on those D100.
Yeah, another poor soul just lost a limb through an armor-plated vehicle from a hunting rifle.
I like how I'm really the only one here who gets that joke.
But don't worry, I know.
So as you are coming up to this river, trying to figure out a way across it, uh, your guide recommends building a makeshift bridge that could hold us all.
Blink, blink.
Right? Yes, I'm not used to working with someone that. Hmm.
I mean, it's doable. We chop down a tree that's long on the river, cut it down the middle so it's flat, pat, 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 and I just walk across. How
Yeah.
wide is the river?
It's more. It looks like it's leading down a bit. Like there's a bit of a.
In fact, can we look
Excuse me.
like following the river? Can we see Orlunga from here?
From here, you manage to see the top of what looks to be a pyramid, jutting out from the horizon.
So it's lower than us?
Yeah. At this point, yes. It looks like this where the river is kind of decline leads into a decline into this little alcove around Orlunga and the Mist Cliff Mountains.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of camping against a cliff, but we tuck back in the woods a little bit. Not a bad place to pitch the tents up, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Mhm.
If we do want to cross, I don't we'll gauge whether or not that side is easier to make the decline than this side. Then we'll worry about a bridge. Because I'm assuming like at this point it's now going into evening. That's part of the multi move, yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna have very little daylight to try and get the ridge position. All this, a lot too many variables for my little engineer brain to be happy with.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
But I've got axes. We have a literal engineer and another smart engineer-ish person. Ish.
All right.
So
Well, how about this? We start off getting the trees and the resources together, and you two smart ones, do some thinking on how to get us across. Well, if you have any better ideas in the morning, you could tell us.
uh Sleek, you want to take Tokus for a quick sketch of the land, so to speak? Need to see if the north side or this side is the better decline. Because I'd rather not waste a whole lot of calories chopping down a tree if I don't gotta.
Any information that could help us would be good. So, yes, that sounds like a plan. You up for it, Tokas?
Sure.
Good thing you have Featherfall prepared.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I will set up a camp itself. We'll be here, just tucked in. You give us the word we're crossing. We'll start chopping down. I'll gauge like not the biggest tree because that's a lot of work, but a sizable tree.
All right. So the two of you give me perception checks as you go off to recon.
Thank you, Tokus.
Hot
I
diggity
try.
damn. Alrighty then. As you are flying about, you manage to. It does look like the northern section is a bit more like the river seems to
Shit.
thin out a bit up near
Yep.
the river, up near the mountainside way, and kind of widen toward as it goes down into into an actual full-on normal river once it hits a point. But the thing that marks you as The pertinent thing that's you see is you see a man running away from a bunch of velociraptors as you are flying in the air.
Just somebody running away from velociraptors.
Yeah, he looks like an adventurer type.
I'll leave him to his fate.
He does with a natural 20. You do see that he has a chest with him, like a chest the size of his torso, just clutching it there as he runs.
How many velociraptors?
It looks like 3.
Hey, Sleek, think we could take some velociraptors?
Uh, 3, I do believe we can, especially if we put them to sleep first. And I'm going to swoop in and cast sleep just behind the guy, and it right where the velociraptors are going to be, so that it hits the 3 of them and not him.
All right. Give
That-
me
Uh,
an initiative roll for you at least, before you hit the sleep button, just to see if you are fast enough to get there before the velociraptors get a hold of this man. This does
All right, so I'm guessing D20 plus my initiative.
yes. Ooh. Okay. Well, it's tonight, I guess. So as you dive down towards this man, you just see as he trips, and the 3 velociraptors just go at him, and you just see chunks fly as you get close enough for your spell. So now
Oh dear.
roll
I
your sleep spell.
wasn't fast enough to save him, but we may yet still get the loot. Let me see. Sleep. Okay, 5d8.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Not
Well
bad.
then,
eh,
not bad, not bad. I have to give a quick second to check on something because I believe you just knocked all of them out. With that, I don't remember velociraptors having a tremendous amount of hit points, but
bedtime, raptors.
uh, yeah, you just knock all 3 of them out as you land with this nice landing as they just collapse on top of the very obvious corpse of a man. Uh, hello.
Go
Hello.
ahead,
Hi.
keep going.
Okay, yeah. So the first thing you see, I would like both of you to make history rolls as you look at this guy. Tokas,
Yes.
you recognize what this man is wearing. This guy is wearing a red robe of the Wizards of Thay.
Ooh, that's something. That's not great.
And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
So, Salik, the plan is to take the chest and fly us back to the group immediately.
Uh,
So it was a good thing we didn't save him.
Yeah.
Well then, let's take it and go.
Well, I can shoot while we fly, so we're fine. I would imagine while up above, I would have advantage just pointing down at him.
he's prone.
Yes, but we're up above, so that should be fine.
Just cast a fireball.
I don't have fireball.
I don't think we
None
get
of us.
fireball.
I think you do.
I might. Let me see here.
I don't.
Alchemist.
So it was a red robe of a wizard of Fae.
Yes, I get
Thay.
fireball.
Red. Yes.
Thay.
Central faction in a lot of adventures. But now this is where I will close out the stream.
Yep.